let's talk a little bit about the transfers, right? Like, what if I want to transfer? How's that going to work in a split? So I think one of the things that's a little bit confusing that people may not understand is that, I've heard some people say that, oh, if there's a split, I'll just stay with ASD because ASD feels solid and stable. I need to clarify, ASD will cease to exist. Basically, when a new district is created, everybody essentially becomes new. So one of the things that we did when we were working on the bill is that we were working with a legislator who had served on the Jordan School District a couple of years after the Jordan Canyon split, and they dealt with some problems, I guess, as far as their kind of how they moved forward. So Jordan didn't really change anything with how they were doing things. They had roughly 60% of the kids and 40% of the property taxes, but they weren't really changing everything. They kind of kept doing everything the way they had always done it. And that created some problems, I think, not only with the budget, but I think some of the dynamics that occurred that kind of led to the split in the first place. I'm getting all this second and third hand. But one of the challenges with that we heard is that everybody needs to start fresh instead of just doing the things that you'd always done, because that was problematic in their split. So if you want to transfer, the way that this will work, and we've kind of discussed this a little bit with the superintendent and a couple of other people, this is how we imagine it will go, is that everyone will have a chance to say, I'd really like to serve in this district, whether it's closer to my home, or I'm going to retire in 3 years and I just want to stay with my core team that I really like, or, hey, my kids, we live in this district, we want to be on the same schedule. We're going to try to respect that as much as possible to give employees the right to transfer where they want to be. But at the same time, we've got to be kind of cautious. We don't want to create a dynamic where we've got like a brain drain, or one area in particular, one district does not have the supports that they need. So we're going to honor that as much as we can, while also being intentional to make sure that every district starts out strong so that they have really good supports in place. So basically the way the code is written is whatever school that you're in, when the district splits, which would technically be July 1 of 2027, whatever school you're in, that's the district you're in if you work within a school building. We're looking at changes to code to kind of put in protections for other employees that are not specifically assigned to a school, so that they will have the same, because there's a feeling that maybe there's not the same level of protection. So we're working on that. And then as far as, what if I want to transfer? How is that going to work? Like, will you honor my years? That kind of thing. So I had somebody ask me that question, like, what will happen if like the split happens in 2027, like in 2030, I decide I want to split and go to it. Like, I want to go to a different district than the one I'm serving in. That'll be up to future school boards to decide how many years of service they're going to recognize. But once again, if you want to be competitive and attract the best employees, I think you're going to have solid packages in place to make sure that you're pulling in the best people.